It's the
Mana Crypt. That's an exciting card. Y'all excited? Crypt, 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 crypt. Why did they put mana into a crypt, right? Scientists spent too long worrying about if they could, and no time wondering if they should. So the classic Mana Crypt start is just like playing a haster on 3. Just like turn 1, like help you with a nice curve out. I think my win rate is highest here with the Teferi pick. Even though it doesn't fit the Crypt start extremely well, I'm still going to grab it. Ooh. A couple of potential pivots here with the Sheoldred and the Flage. Both gain life 2 to offset the Crypt life loss. They're both pretty mana intensive, right? I'd be adding double red or double black to what I'm doing so far. A little bit better against different strategies, right? Like Flage is better against creature decks, and Sheoldred's better against draw spells. Currently, the cube rewards creature strategies more than draw spells, so Flage has a much higher win rate than Sheoldred. Also, just higher win rate colors. Griselbrand and Sheoldred play very well together, if you can connect them. I'm going to keep shoring up the mana base. Okay. Now I kind of wish I'd grabbed the Griselbrand. I like all these white cards. Maybe I'll take some Lingering Souls here. Give that Entomb something to do, huh? Oh, Echo would be a sweet pickup with the Sheoldred. Entomb for Echo. Is Bat not that good? Bat's fine. Often when I like pass a card, people are like, oh, does that card suck? And it's like, no, it's because I liked the card that I picked better. Sometimes it means that card sucks, but usually most cards are fine. Would I take over it? Yawgmoth? Yawgmoth pairing well with that Lingering Souls. Higher ceiling than a bat. Weak, weak. I need to oil this. It's not squeaky. I've had this mic stand for a million billion years. The last several times I've chased the Draw 7 Sheoldred deck, it has not gone well. I have crashed and burned. But this time will be different. Should we Booster Tutor? Booster Tutor has like kind of a medium mid-range, or a medium win rate, but it is very fun. Probably a worse card than Snapcaster Mage, but that's okay. Once again, passing a Tolly. Hate it. Can you select which booster? In this cube, you get a booster made out of cards from the cube. It's just like seeing a booster pack at the very start when you first crack it open. People play it differently in paper. Some people do it that way, where you make a booster from the cube. And then some people have boosters ready to crack open. I'm gonna grab this Delta. Library's been really good for me lately, but the mana base does need it if I'm trying to add a double blue card in here. Haste up over voltage. 145 consecutive streams. So if Academy is producing, even if it's only producing 2 mana, it's still very good with Time Spiral. We do have a Mana Crypt to grab with Enlightened Tutor, or I guess Vampiric Tutor would be even better, huh? Alright, give me this Academy. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. I was talking about Echo with Entomb, huh? Awkward that we have to pass Hallowed Fountain for it. I mean, if we get some reanimation effects for the Sheoldred, then we'll be able to go like Entomb for Echo or Entomb for Sheoldred and then reanimate it before playing Echo. That could be pleasant. I'm gonna grab the Transmogrant. It's a random critter for Yawg, and then it's a random artifact for Academy. And it kind of fits both weird halves of whatever deck I'm trying to put together here. I'll take a little Vista, a little Fixin'. I've been impressed with Zernorb lately, but not quite impressed enough to throw it in a deck with no obvious synergies. We mapping? Bowmasters is indeed in, yeah. It'd be one of our better pickups, one of our better non-power pickups in Pack 3. You heard fixing is like eating your vegetables. You may not like it, but you know it's good for you. I like drafting fixing. I like eating vegetables too, though. I made a kale pizza for lunch where I just like took out I destemmed the kale and then sauteed it with onions to like make it soft. And then I just put a bed of it down on the pizza crust, like you would spinach, right? If you're making a spinach pizza. Put some fresh basil on top, a little bit of sauce and cheese, pepperoni. It was good. It turned out well. My wife dug it. That's the most important thing when I experiment food-wise. See, she's usually not down for pizza as like a meal either, but I think the kale added something, made it more nutritious. So Multiversal Passage is interesting. Just as like one more fixing, even though it costs some life. I almost like this Deceit here. Nice little catch-all answer to things. Oh, let's take Esper Sentinel. Another artifact critter for both Yawg and Academy. I like the versatility of Dam in this black-white deck. And then Solitude and Quantum Riddler are both excellent. Let's grab Solitude. Probably too many draw 7s in here. Probably officially just way too fucking many of that now. You truly hate kale? I bet if you had my kale, you'd change your mind. I've done a lot of experimenting the last year. Cooking it with different fats, different types of fats. Making sure there's an acid in there to cut the bitterness. Putting in like sweet herbs like basil. And then like fucking a Scrubland. And then of course a base of garlic and onion. The nice thing about kale is that it's got a strong flavor. So it can handle like competing with garlic and onion and stuff and still taste like something. And then it's also, because it's firmer, it handles slow cooker cooking really well too. It won't just like disintegrate if you leave it in the crock pot for several hours. I really dig that aspect of it. Vindicate action. A little universal removal, why not? It is my talisman, I suppose. How you doing? Thanks for the sub. Thanks for the 3 months. When you harvest your own kale, too, you can get it when it's like baby kale, and it's much more tender than when you get from the store, which is often big, thick, tough, difficult to deal with. I kind of wish I'd grabbed that mentor, actually. I should have grabbed that mentor. Shit. I was lost in kale. I was in my kale stupor. Damn wheel. Nice. Kale and chorizo go well together? They do. I've really liked growing it as well, because it handles the cold temperature here in Wisconsin. So I can like plant it earlier than other greens, and then harvest it later too. Yeah, we never got a reanimation effect for the Entomb. It's just finding Echo, or I guess Lingering Souls. We have enough acceleration. I wonder if I just don't play it. I like that the Enlightened Tutor is giving you more Mana Crypt openers, but the Tez also is here to find Mana Crypt. So I think I'm just cutting these tutors, and then I don't know. Maybe I don't need the Deceit, because I've got Vindicate and Teferi Bounce to answer random things. One thing I like about the Deceit is it's giving me something else to do with random Academy mana. Or like Mana Crypt, Talisman, what is that ramping into? Oh, speaking of Talismans, I probably don't need this many, huh? It is Blue Man, welcome to the stream. So this is 9 white, plus 2 from the Talismans. I think I like cutting a Talisman. I guess they're doing my count for me. With 2 blue Talismans, the blue's actually at 9, and there's no black producing Talisman, so I think I want 1 more swamp and 1 more island, or 1 less island. So now it's 8 blue, 9 white, 9 black. Makes sense to me. Don't love all this business. So we can get to 4 mana post creativity, but it awkwardly will not be double black mana. So if I want to play the Academy and the Talisman, then I'm playing Vindicate this turn instead, which is fine. Kind of like getting this Sheoldred down, though. Khazad-dûm. Sure. I thought they might loop Golos there. Got me. Yeah, mostly just wanted there to not be a Golos interaction this turn, a Golos activation. If I was really scared about the loop, then I would have winsed, but I was kind of fine with them spending their turn doing this. Well, I guess I'll go for it. So this won't quite kill them. It'll put them to 2. But our tar pit could attack, I suppose. They could have had Besiege You for the tar pit. I wasn't like dicking around for no reason by bidding the Eagle. The idea was if they Besiege You tar pit, that I'd have an untapped white source. I could Teferi, bounce my Mana Crypt, and play out the Lingering Souls and threaten to kill them that next turn that way. This hand is very explosive, but kind of goes nowhere. Nice seeing Sheoldred take one down, huh? Even though it had some assistance with the tar pit there. And I think I'm not going to Mana Crypt out the Talisman. I guess I could play the Eagles next turn, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Glad I ran out the crypt. Still have the Fatal Push to deal with the Esper Sentinel, but then the Deceit is still smacking in. Okay, sure. Raising my own Mana Crypt here. We do have draw 7, so you do want to run out those lands, of course. I was hoping to have drawn something by now, because now I was going to say now they could Kaido tap me down. Thank you, Mana Crypt. Nice. That was a nice string of draws there. God, uptick your Teferi. Boop. Oh shit, what up? Hey, Gloomshot Bot, thanks for the 34 months. So we're going to Mana Crypt and bin the Eagles and go get Scrubland, because that's going to let me put the Esper Sentinel on 1 and the Sheoldred on 2. And that feels like a good curve to me. And then I unfortunately will not have a turn 3 time spiral unless I naturally draw Academy. You get a card, I get a card. That seems fair. Well, there's no Underground Sea for this Delta, I don't think. Whew, hold on. So I just Coalition Relic and then crack map for Academy. Or no, I could crack map for Academy and then have that be my land for the turn and then play the Relic off that and have Relic charge itself. And the next turn, Academy would tap for 3. Then I'd get 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. That's enough to Sheoldred Spiral on turn 3, if it all works. Fucking hate this rope. Sitting here mathing out my next 3 turns. But have you considered opponent passing with a pile of mana here? Kind of hate it. And it looks like I did screw up my math. I think I double counted the Academy. Yeah, I counted 3 lands and then also 3 from Academy. But we drew a Timetwister, so I'll attempt to do this. See if they have a response for me. They should, right? They have fucking 4 mana up. Yeah, it's a bummer. Yeah, the Sheoldred that got exiled is like my only real way of breaking the draw 7s too. Kind of a bummer to lose it. Would have been good if we'd had like a backup of some kind. Some Narset-ass. Hull Breacher, Orcs, whatever. I don't think I want to Vindicate here. And that's what most of that tank was. Stop. God, this Mana Crypt fucking hates me. Wouldn't be crazy to Vindicate that Fable now. Prevent them from getting their free loot action. Try to get this Solitude around if I can. Help alleviate this Mana Crypt. Burning the Vindicate means I now have no answer to this flipped Fable. I think there's a Surveil land in here. Fetching down to 9 does make you a little bit more vulnerable to your own Mana Crypt, but I think I need the filtering. Unless I'm wrong and there's not a Surveil land in there. Where's that going? Fair enough. There's not one anyway. I was super wrong. Mana Crypt says next game. That is awkward. So that's an excellent card. Copy with Reflection. Come on. We don't have loot effects for extra random lands, but we do have draw 7s, and draw 7s really want you to play all your lands out, so you don't have to redraw them later. Because you were value bluffing something that the opponent's not going to play around anyway. Do 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 do. Looks like I'm just dead, huh? I can block 2 3s and take 5. Save my Mana Crypt the fucking difficulty there. Don't bother flipping. No need. Not like really excited about this opener, but we got Sentinel, and then we can Booster Tutor Ben Eagles next turn, or maybe Ben Eagles first, go get my Scrubland, then Booster Tutor off that on their end of turn. I kind of dig that. Maybe I'm supposed to Booster Tutor on my turn, because if it finds Black Lotus, it just get to Twister. I dig the Wasteland. Wow. This is a good Booster Tutor. We're going to take Bowmasters. What sorcery is this? Caleb D. MTG in the afternoon? Hey, sup, Mark Chalice? Trying to apply enough pressure that they have to tap their mana for something, and then I can Bowmaster plus Twister in the same turn, maybe. That's my reasoning here. I don't know if it's good or not. A little vulnerable to a sweeper now, I guess. But they'd have to spend their whole turn doing it, and then I'd fire off Deceit. Guess that's not the worst follow-up play. Sweet. This is a potentially exciting opener. Can't do anything with the Mana Crypt turn 1, but it might let me turn 2 this Teferi or Vindicate if we wanted to do that, if we wanted to be especially mean. That does make me want to do something, but is it Teferi Bounce or is it Vindicate? Maybe it's neither, huh? Maybe it is just Sheoldred. Red Green Aggro might have a rough time dealing with an active Sheoldred. They've got a few 4 damage spells, but not really 5 damage. Fury, Flame Slash, not quite getting the job done. All right. Yeah, they made Teferi there. I'm like Teferi upticking, which doesn't seem great. And then like not serving with Sheoldred. Ooh. Alright, Sheoldred, you just need to live one more turn here. The most obnoxious way to kill a person would be to uptick Teferi and then play the Twister on their turn. Oh, nope, they're clearing anyway. Let's go ahead and attack. There's some good cards here, but they rely on other colors of mana. Basically untapping with this Coalition Relic. So I'd grab Broadside there and ran out Relic. It would have gotten Mana Tithe, and the Broadside would be trapped in my hand. And it's not like Mana Tithe is specific, right? There's a shitload of different ways to answer the Relic. Booster Tutor doesn't fix the mana for you. Just puts the card in your hand. Oh, we're facing the Great Ali Hum. Really wish we had a Surveil land in this deck. I think that card's strong enough to be worth a damn. Yeah, I mean, Booster Tutor is still fine in a two-color deck. But a lot of times you're going to be grabbing like a land off of it or something. Hey, welcome back, Entropic Ender. I don't love Consult the Star Charts in Cube. It kind of depends on your curve. It looks a little bit better than usual in Ollie's deck because he's got Ren and 6 to keep on hitting land drops. But a lot of people are like playing it in decks that are actually replacing lands with Moxen and stuff. And you just don't want to have this card in your 14 land deck. Another Ren and 6 can clear my Teferi. We kind of need a draw 7, huh? Equal up these card totals. Sure. So Ollie is very ahead on cards here after landing Consult and a Mystic Confluence and having Ren and 6 getting back value and such. Caracas is very annoying against my Sheoldred. The talent can rebuy the Warp. Yeah, my last couple Time Walk, Time Warp decks have not gotten the chance to pop off. But they've been working really well for my opponents. Been a rough season for the old Caleb. The only thing I've been consistently winning with is just like pure control decks. Pile of counters and stuff. Maybe I'm washed? I'm probably washed, yeah. 12 years of dominating win rates. All in the pooper. Rumble, Binning, Minskin Boo. I think Ollie's trying to set up a infinite, right? By blinking talent. Get into a spot where you can blink talent every turn and rebuy Time Warp. Takes 9 mana and starting with the Warp. Your quick scooper. I'm like kind of curious to see where it goes, but I am near the scoop range for sure. What's the rush, right? What are you in the hurry for? I'm also like very low on scooping when I'm playing a deck with a bunch of draw 7s. When you have a lot of high power draws in your decks that can like 180 any board state. That's a little different. Oh, here they can draw their deck though with Teferi, Sapphire, and Kitten. I think that's a fine scoop spot for sure. Once they have the actual infinite. Well, not infinite, because it's dependent on their deck size, but infinite enough. Oddly tempting to Vindicate on that turn, too. Potentially better. I almost went with Lingering Souls this turn, and kind of regret not now. Yeah, that makes sense, Andrew. A lot of locals would overhunt these days if they were allowed. And there's people that get really mad that the Native Americans have different sets of rights. Right, Fat Wesker? That's how I feel about it. Really want to get that loot in with Malcolm. Thirsty for cards over there. Opponent's not playing red, so there's not really a downside to eating the 2-2. Guess I can crack a clue. I like the Spirit eating the Teferi and Deceit bouncing Malcolm and making them bin something. I'm a black mana short of Thoughtseize plus Deceit. This lets them eat my Thraben Inspector if they want to, but then they're taking 4 from Sheoldred and going to 7, which I think is totally fine. Yeah, they're really digging for a second white source, it looks like. God, if I had vindicated the plains instead of the island on turn 2, this game would have been a real easy He's mostly just tutoring up Mana Crypt in this deck. And then potentially untapping Mana Crypt once you have it. Playing the Thraben Inspector does remove your white card for Solitude, but pretty sure we want to crack this clue on too. And the question becomes, do we tutor up? Oop, guess we're going to rub an island with that. Pup cam, yeah, we got a little puppy cam. Usually the lighting's better, but I must have reset a cable or something because my side ring light is out and my LED light that usually lights him up is out as well. So we're both a little bit more shadowy than usual. Next turn, I think we Booster Tutor, see if we can find orcs again, huh? Or Hull Breacher or something. Mana Crypt plus Tez. We untap with a Tez. Could potentially be a lot of mana. Yeah, we got another white source that Elspeth would really appeal to me. I think I'm gonna Golos. One thing, so like I'm often complaining about the things I don't like about Arena's UI. I'll give credit where credit's due. I do like how it shows you the cards you get off Atraxa. That's one of my least favorite things about cubing on the Magic Online client, is having to go through and like manually notate what they grab. Reanimate that halfling. Oh, yeah, Solitude. It's pretty good. Oh, they didn't reanimate though. Cool. And they have reanimation effects, so I don't actually want to Vindicate Atraxa. I'd like to Winds of Abandon Atraxa. Vindicating a land is tempting. I think I'd rather get the Tar Pit down and just attack in. Ended up with like I had plenty of mana. I could have ran out the Yawgmoth, but it's hard to know, right? It's hard to know what your fresh 7 is gonna have going for it. Sure. The halfling returns. Yeah, awkward that binning a Tali makes it very reanimatable. But if I'm not binning a Tali, then I'm like vindicating the Blood Crypt and just like, oh, that doesn't even work because the halfling would cast it, yeah. A little bit of pressure here. Put Troll to hand. I think I preferred Sentinel plus replay the Copter, but this isn't like a terrible play or anything. Might as well thin a little bit, huh? They were just trying to block, and then they did it before their appropriate phase or whatever, so the game thought they were trying to sack it. Sweet. Booster Tutor's been good for me, but I'm going to send this one back, huh? For kind of obvious reasons here. Excuse me. This is not a deck that wants to see a Ragavan. Maybe I'll draw Lingering Souls and just brick it. You want to twist? They do not. They're like, absolutely not. That was mine. That was my answer to your Ragavan. Well, at least I'll get to flash it back. Leaky mana. Could happen to anybody. Can you Booster Tutor for Booster Tutor? I have before, so yeah. I think we're gonna waltz into another counter, and that'll be all she wrote. And then if they rip a land here, they'll have the mana confluence up. Alright, that I will concede to. Yeah, you win. That was a rough spot. But we ended up, what, 6-3? That's pretty good. I think that's like punching a little bit above its weight.